The Sound of Freedom movie. We went to see it last night, and I disliked it. It was saddening to me that a movie like this even needed to be made, and multiplied by the fact that it was based on a true story.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. You go to a movie, hey, how'd you like it? Yeah, I really like that movie. This isn't one of those kind of movies, would you say? So that's why Air says, I didn't like it. The fact that a movie like that has to be made is so disheartening and disappointing and sad with the state of the world. We're not naive. I might be a little bit more naive than Air. You know, these things happen in the world, but to the degree that the movie tells you it's happening in our world today, that's the scary part, I think.
Mm-hmm. This is Plan-Free Philanthropy. This channel will be giving 100% of its revenues, if and when it becomes monetized, back into philanthropic causes that we stand for, and hopefully you do as well. If you'd like to help this channel grow for free, you can do the easy things like press like, share the video, watch it again, subscribe.
Talking about watching the video, the purpose of this is to react to the movie and talk a little bit about it and to encourage you to go and see it. We say sometimes put my big girl panties on or put my big boy shorts on. It's kind of like that. You don't really want to see this movie, but you really have to see this movie. You know, as soon as you hear the title and you know what it's about, child trafficking, it's not like you're like pumped up to go see the movie, but it's such an important topic.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of intensity in the movie, and rightly so. I can only imagine real-world situations where this is happening. Yeah. But kudos to the men involved in making this movie. They talk about several times that it was filmed 5 years ago, and they've been basically dealing with roadblocks from Hollywood from there on out to be able to release the movie in its current form today. From the producers to the actors to the real-life character that was portrayed, these men are modern-day heroes, and the world needs more people like them.
Oh yeah, totally.
The movie's produced by a group called Angel Studios, and they have a very cool thing. At the end of the movie, the main actor gives a special announcement. It actually happens 2 minutes after the credits roll, so we would encourage you to stay until that time so you can hear the special message. And in it, he talks about how Angel Studios, you can scan a QR code right at the theater, and you can donate for people to be able to go and see this movie that can't necessarily afford it otherwise. So it's basically an admission donation opportunity through Angel Studios.
Like a pay it forward.
Right.
Yeah, at the end of the movie, everyone thought it was over, and they all the whole 99% of the theater cleared right out, and there was like 10 of us left.
Right.
So we really recommend you stay and watch. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little tidbit. If you don't know it's coming, it's definitely worth staying for.
So the movie itself, if you're wondering about, well, do I take my kids? Or we're not parents, but if we had children that were younger, 8, 10, 12, I don't think it's an appropriate topic for them to handle at that age. If they're 14 and older, perhaps you could take them. And one word of, not really caution, but just to tell you, it's not a graphic film, but it insinuates what's happening. So as an adult, you know what's happening, but the movie did such a tasteful job with a supremely distasteful subject to tell the viewer what is happening to the children. And so just you can rest assured that if you're 14 or above and can handle that topic, or if you're an adult, you're not going to be seeing things that are going to scar you, or unless you've been through some kind of trauma like that, there shouldn't be too many triggers either.
Having said that, if you're ignorant to the whole child trafficking situation like I was, some of the stats that they share in the movie were mind-blowing for me. Like, I had no idea. Yeah. For example, he says in the movie that child trafficking is the fastest growing industry on the planet right now, which is sick to even say that and have it be true. But the statement made in the movie is that it's a $150 billion industry, which...
I have something that I read up about that. So $150 billion industry. First thing I want to say is the fact that we call it an industry.
Right.
I don't know if we never really talked about that, you and I, but the fact that you call it an industry, it's an industry in our world, something's wrong. But to speak to the $150 billion, I heard after watching some interviews online following the viewing of the film that if you take the top 10 professional sports teams in the world, so we're talking NBA, NHL, the top 10 all combined together earn $54 billion. They earn wholly a third of what this industry generates in the world.
It's unbelievable.
I know.
And also, it might be interesting for you to know that the U.S. is the primary consumer of this situation.
And so maybe on a positive note, what can you do? We felt helpless in a way, but we can pay it forward. We can go see the film minimally. There's an organization that the real life hero, Tim Ballard, is the man who spearheaded these children's rescues that they talk about in the movie. He has an organization called ourrescue.org. We'll link it in the description below. And there's another tangible way that you can get involved, anywhere from volunteering to being a monthly donator to help this cause.
There's another stat offered by the lead actor in the movie, and he stated it as the growth in the amount of child pornography images online has grown 5,000%. And I think it was in the last year. I can't remember exactly.
I think something like that.
But the growth of that is astonishing.
It's
and the fact
staggering.
that there's a group of humans out there that are ready to consume this kind of stuff is obviously deplorable.
We've encouraged you to go see the film minimally. If after the film you feel a little bit like we did, a little bit maybe even helpless, bothered, angry, even just so furious, there are things you can do. We're Christian, we pray. There's a lot of people who fast. On occasion, we have also fasted. So those, if you're a Christian and you have beliefs that children should not be harmed, those are your first go-to methods, and they're not to be taken minimally. The stats on this problem they're mind-blowing in the amount of dollar value that they generate, and it's deplorable. And so don't minimize the fact that this issue could really, truly use divine intervention.
Right. And also, we give full credit again to the people involved in producing this film. They are the modern day heroes here, and we really need to support and uplift people that are making a true effort to combat this problem. If you also want to do something in this arena, there's many ways, like we talked about already in the video, and we have links in the description. More on a one-to-one basis, this small channel here will be donating 100% of its revenues to causes like this and others. You can help it out for free by doing the simple things like pressing like, watching the video again, sharing it, hit the subscribe button. Simple and easy. This is plan-free philanthropy. If you'd like to hear us talk more about causes that we can get behind, and maybe you can too, stick around for the next video, click subscribe and the blue bell icon so you always know when our next video is coming out.
People are trafficked, the whole industry, for labor, sex, and organ harvesting. Those three arenas, it's like a global industry. It's demonic.
It is demonic.
People and children should not be traded as a commodity. Jim Caviezel's character said in the movie, you can sell cocaine one time. You can sell a 5-year-old child or a 10-year-old child. You can sell a child 5 to 10 times a day for 10 years.